You're scrolling through Instagram at 2 a.m., watching another success story, another overnight millionaire, another person who made it. And you're thinking, why not me? I work hard. I hustle. I watch every motivational video on YouTube. But nothing changes. Your bank account looks the same. Your life looks the same. And that voice in your head keeps whispering, maybe you're just not cut out for this. Maybe success is for other people, not you. Well, before you close this video and go back to scrolling, let me tell you about a kid from nowhere who had every reason to quit but didn't. And what happened next will make you question everything you thought you knew about success. Because this isn't just another feel-good story. This is about the brutal truth nobody wants to hear, and the one principle that separates those who make it from those who don't. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll either be fired up to change your life, or you'll realize you never really wanted it in the first place. His name was Marcus, and he grew up in a small town in rural Kentucky, the kind of place where everyone knows your name, and everyone knows your business. His dad ran a struggling auto repair shop on the edge of town, the kind with rusted signs and oil stains on the concrete that never came out. They weren't homeless, but they were one bad month away from losing everything. Marcus wasn't the brightest kid in school. He wasn't the most popular. He didn't have the newest Jordans or the latest iPhone. But he had something else, something most people lose by the time they hit 20. He had a dream that wouldn't shut up. Every morning, before the sun broke through the Kentucky hills, Marcus was out there running. Not on some fancy track with starting blocks and coaches. Just him, the empty back roads, and the sound of his own breathing. His dream was simple but massive. Make it to the state athletic championship, get noticed by college scouts, earn a scholarship, and give his family a shot at something better. If he could just get into a Division I program, everything would change. His dad could finally retire that old shop. His mom could stop working double shifts at the diner. And maybe, just maybe, Marcus could prove that kids like him, from towns like this, could actually make something of themselves. But here's the thing. Marcus kept losing, not just once or twice. Every single race for 2 straight years. He'd train harder than anyone, wake up earlier, push through the pain, and still, he'd come in second place, third place, sometimes fourth. His friends started saying things like, "Bro, maybe track isn't your thing. You're good at fixing cars, just help your dad out." Even his coach, a former college athlete himself, pulled him aside one day and said, "Marcus, I respect the hustle, but talent matters too. Maybe it's time to focus on something more realistic." And you know what hurts the most? Deep down, Marcus started believing them. He started wondering if all those early mornings, all that pain, all that effort was just a waste of time. Like he was running toward a finish line that didn't exist. Then one morning, everything fell apart. It was late October, cold and drizzling rain. Marcus was doing his usual 5-mile run on the back roads when he hit a slick patch of mud near Miller's S Creek. His foot slipped, and he went down hard, twisting his ankle, ripping his hoodie, mud all over his face. He just sat there in the rain, cars driving past, nobody stopping. And for the first time in years, Marcus broke. He sat under that old oak tree by the road, rain pouring down, and he cried. Not because of the pain in his ankle, but because of the pain in his chest. The pain of trying so hard and getting nowhere. He whispered to himself, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe I should just quit." And that's when he heard a voice. "Hey son, you all right?" Marcus looked up. It was Old Man Jennings, a retired farmer who lived a few miles down the road. He was out walking his dog, wearing a rain jacket and a Reds baseball cap. Marcus wiped his face and said, "Yeah, I'm fine, just slipped." Old Man Jennings smiled, sat down on a nearby stump, and said, "You don't look fine. You look like someone who's about ready to give up." Marcus didn't say anything at first, but then it all came out. He told him about the races, the losses, the judgment, the doubt. He told him about feeling like no matter how hard he tried, it was never enough. Old man Jennings nodded slowly, like he'd heard this story 1,000 times before. Then he said, "You ever heard of the Chinese bamboo tree?" Marcus shook his head. "Well," the farmer said, "when you plant a Chinese bamboo seed, you water it, you fertilize it. You take care of it every single day. And you know what happens? Nothing. For 5 years, absolutely nothing. No sprout, no growth, nothing above the ground. Most people would think it's dead. They'd give up. But then, in the 5th year, something crazy happens. That bamboo shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. 90 feet. Now did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks? Or did it grow 90 feet in 5 years? Marcus stared at him. The farmer continued, "See, all that time underground, it was building roots. Deep, strong, unshakable roots. And when the time was right, it exploded. You're building roots right now, son. Don't you dare stop watering." Something shifted in Marcus that day. It wasn't some dramatic movie moment with violins and slow motion. It was quiet. It was internal, but it was real. He stood up, wiped his face, and walked home, limping. And from that moment on, Marcus didn't run to prove anyone wrong. He ran because he finally understood the game. Success wasn't about being the fastest right now. It was about becoming unbreakable over time. He stopped comparing himself to others. He stopped checking who got scholarships, who got recruited, who posted what on social media. He just focused on his roots. He studied biomechanics on YouTube. He changed his diet. He worked on his breathing, his stride, his mental toughness. Rain or shine, heat or cold, Marcus ran, not for applause. Not for validation, but because he knew something nobody else did. His time was coming. 1 year later, the West Kentucky Regional Championship arrived. This was it. The top 3 finishers would move on to the state finals, where college scouts would be watching. The competition was insane. Kids from Louisville, Lexington, private schools with professional trainers and Nike sponsorships. Marcus stood on the starting line in his worn-out Asics and faded high school jersey. Nobody knew his name. Nobody expected him to do anything. And honestly, that was exactly how he liked it. The gun went off. Marcus didn't explode out of the blocks like some of the other runners. He stayed calm, stayed in his rhythm, just like he'd practiced. Mile 1, he was in 7th place. Mile 2, 5th. Mile 3, 3rd. His lungs were burning. His legs were screaming. But his mind was silent. No doubt, no fear. Just focus. In the final 400 meters, something unlocked. It was like every morning run, every painful sprint, every moment he wanted to quit but didn't. All of it came rushing through his body like electricity. He passed the kid from Louisville, then the kid from Lexington. And with 50 meters to go, Marcus crossed the finish line first. The crowd exploded. His coach ran onto the track, screaming. His dad, who had closed the shop early to be there, stood in the bleachers with tears streaming down his face, hands covering his mouth, unable to speak. Marcus didn't celebrate like you see in the movies. He just bent over, hands on his knees, breathing hard, and smiled, because he knew he had built his roots. 3 months later, Marcus competed at the state finals. He didn't win, but he placed 3rd, and that was enough. 2 Division I schools reached out. One offered him a partial scholarship. It wasn't a full ride, but it was a start. It was proof. It was a door that didn't exist before. But more than any trophy, any medal, any scholarship, Marcus walked away with something nobody could ever take from him. He believed in himself. Not because someone told him he was great, but because he had proven to himself that he could endure, that he could grow, that he could become. Years later, after college, Marcus came back to that same small town. He went looking for old man Jennings. He found him sitting on the porch of his farmhouse, dog at his feet, sipping sweet tea. Marcus walked up with a smile and said, "I don't know if you remember me, but you changed my life. You told me about the bamboo tree, and I never forgot it. Old man Jennings looked up, eyes crinkling with a smile, and said, I remember you, Marcus. I'm glad those words helped. But let me tell you something, son. I didn't change your life, you did. All I did was remind you of something you already had inside. The strength was always yours. You just had to stop looking for permission to use it. And that's the truth most people don't want to hear. We live in a world obsessed with instant results. We want six-pack abs in 30 days. $1 million business in 6 months, viral fame overnight. And when it doesn't happen, we think something's wrong with us. We think we're not talented enough, not smart enough, not lucky enough. But that's not how greatness works. Greatness is built in the dark, in the early mornings when nobody's watching, in the moments when you want to quit but choose to keep going, in the failures that nobody sees, but that shape you into someone unstoppable. Marcus didn't win because he was the most talented. He won because he refused to stop building his roots. And when the moment came, he was ready. So here's my question for you. What are you building? Are you watering your bamboo every day, even when you can't see progress? Or are you giving up after a few weeks because it's not happening fast enough? Are you comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20? Are you letting other people's opinions define what you're capable of? Because let me tell you something. The people who doubt you, they're not living your life. They're not waking up at 5 a.m. They're not fighting your battles. They're not building your dream. You are. And if you quit now, you'll never know how close you were to your breakthrough. You'll never know what you could have become. The bamboo doesn't grow for 5 years, but it's not doing nothing. It's preparing. It's strengthening. It's getting ready for the moment when it explodes toward the sky. That's you. Right now. You might feel stuck. You might feel like you're running in place. But trust the process. Keep watering. Keep building. Keep showing up, because your roots are growing. And when your time comes, and it will come, nobody will be able to stop you. If this story hit you in the chest, if it reminded you why you started, if it made you realize you're closer than you think, then do me a favor. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's about to give up. Someone who's forgotten their power. Because the world needs more people like Marcus. More people who refuse to quit. More people who understand that greatness isn't given, it's grown. Now get off this video and go build your roots.